Think about this. The extraordinary experiences that you've had in life come from the choices you make. The extraordinary experiences you've had in life come from the choices you make. So as you know, I talk exclusively about spiritual personality typing. So when I had this thought, it came across me in an article, or I think it was on a YouTube video or something. I think it was an ad for a car company, actually. But I thought, wow, how many of us really, really ponder and reflect on the choices that we've made or on the choices that we're about to make. Now, this is a big topic, especially now, where I believe the choices that we make today are always have repercussions, but now in this time of transformation, when everything's slowly starting to come down, the old systems are starting to come down, we are the new founders. We, the people, are now the new founders of the new earth. So what choices are we going to make to create the new earth? It's pretty interesting when you think about that, and I always go deep, I swear, that's just my personality type. But think about that. So if you don't know your personality type and how you predictively make choices, then you're probably making choices based on somebody else's narrative, based on a belief that might not be your belief, or you don't make choices at all. You just follow. You're just like, oh, I'm just going to do that because everyone else is doing it. There's no wrong way. There's no wrong way. But if you want to make choices that steer you on a path of extraordinary experiences, then there's a better way. So the better way is knowing your personality type and knowing the traits, thinking, either extroverted or introverted, or feeling, either extroverted or introverted, how these traits influences and indicate your way of making choices. Now here's another thing I'm going to bring up. This is interesting. I was traveling last week and I was interacting with a lot of different people, which was fun for me, and I need to do more of that. But what was brought to my attention was that all of these traits are degrees of, and I'm going to have a lot of this in my book. It's called Unpacking Your Personality. Unpack Your Personality. Because I want your inner guide to be your travel guide. And I'll get into this at another date, but that's coming. So when I say this, these degrees of traits, there's rarely a trait that's at 100%. It's very, very, very rare. I don't have the statistics. I can't talk to millions of people to find out how rare that is, but I know it's rare. I know it's rare just by, seeing everybody and observing people and watching people. And as a public relations travel professional, I was exposed to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of travelers who I had very interesting conversations with about their travel experiences. And I go more into that in the book too, but I don't want to go that far down the rabbit hole with this video. So I know that there's degrees of traits. So if you don't intimately know yourself, what degree is your trait? Where does it stand for you? Are you 50% feeling and then you kind of go into more intuition? How are you working that? What's the degree of your trait? Or how does your dominant trait influence your decision-making trait? How's that influencing that? Because your personality all works together like an organic whole. Okay? And every aspect of your personality type, every aspect of it is very important. And I know it's been said, and you can go online right now, that we have inferior traits and we have auxiliary, not auxiliary, I'm so used to using my words. I call it the emerging trait, which the tertiary. Sorry, I'm using my own. I'm so into my own verbiage here. But the emerging, a tertiary trait, and then your auxiliary trait. And so many times you'll say, well, these aren't conscious. A lot of people aren't conscious about them. They're in the order of which you use them. It's number 3 and number 4. A lot of people don't ever use them. That's not the way they're intended. Divine intelligence is never random. It doesn't just throw things out there to go, oh, just in case they want to do that. It's not how this stuff works. So you have to get very intentional and committed to knowing your personality type, because that's where you can make those extraordinary choices. And even further to this is what's really cool, is because we are often, no one escapes this. No one on the planet. No one. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. No one. No one escapes the fact that your personality type has been influenced and conditioned by external circumstances, be it your parents, be it religious institutions, school, higher education, society, the internet. It goes on and on and on. Marketing. Look how much marketing influences travel. So much so that it's caused over tourism. It just all gets influenced. Okay? So, with that said, those presets of influence, the presets of influence. So what I'm saying is, they're already preset in your mind. So when you go to make a decision, are you relying on the preset? Will you rely on an existing belief or value? And if you are relying on that existing belief or value, is it germane to who you are? Is it relevant to your soul path? Is it relevant to your purpose? Same thing, soul path. Here's the kicker. This is why I teach spiritual personality typing, right? Because once you start unpacking your personality type and you get familiar with it and you know the indicators, and then you sit back and add a spiritual practice, typically meditating, journaling. It all revolves around stillness. So it's all about mind shifting, right? It's shifting your mind, expanding your mind, going into the stillness and asking the question, is this the right choice for my highest good? Yeah. So when you add that layer into decision making, you can and will make extraordinary decisions for you, for your soul path, and for your purpose. And the thing is, when you start elevating yourself to a higher energy level, which I believe are all energy, right? When you start elevating yourself to that energy level, you become more light-filled. So you're vibrating at a higher level. You're not so ensconced in fear. And you're going to rely on yourself more. Because honestly, this is what this whole earth situation is about right now. Listen to the kids in school. They're so cute. It's about relying on yourself. Listen to these kids. They're just joy-filled. They're just having fun. It's about joy. It's about taking that in. No, your life's not going to be this, perfectly perfect place. You're going to have hardships. It's what life's about. You don't learn unless you have a hardship. You're not always going to be on success lane. It doesn't work like that. And if you've lived any time on earth, you already know that. But I'm telling you, if you don't start layering your personality type with a spiritual understanding, you're going to stay where you're going to stay stuck. Why? Because you have to expand yourself. You have to grow into a higher level of yourself. And you can't do that solely based on physical knowledge. It's not how it works. I know, it's kind of a woo-woo, fun woo-woo, right? But that does how it works. When you start relying on divine intelligence to help you see things from a different perspective, you'll dream bigger. You'll imagine beyond what you could think, or beyond what you could really imagine. Your imagination takes you to different places. And if we're founders of this new earth, don't we want to imagine things that are so much better than they are today? Don't we want to create that kind of future? And it's not about, it doesn't involve like all these structures and government and ways. No, it's just about really knowing that when you treat somebody with kindness, their energy elevates, and then the energy around them elevates. Now we're starting to get into these different frequencies. So it's not some system that we have to follow, or some rite of passage, or whatever the hell all this stuff that we've been conditioned to believe is the right way. It's not the right way. The right way is your way. Now, obviously, I know we have to have a modicum of, right and wrong. But I'm telling you, when you start getting into a space in your life where you just want to vibrate from that light energy, you're making choices from that light energy. You're not making choices based on fear or greed or I need more, they're lesser than, I can't be bothered with them, they're just this person. Funny enough, we all come from divine intelligence. So we all have divinity within us. So if you're poo-pooing one person and saying they're just that, they aren't. They are just you. You are just them. Created with a different mission, with a different personality type, with a different purpose for here on earth. But we're all here to work together to make this a true garden of Eden. Yes, where everybody can pick the fruit. So when you start making choices layered on the knowledge of your personality type, and then you layer that in too with a spiritual practice, you meditate on it, you journal about it. You're not going to 50,000 people and asking them questions. You have to take responsibility for your choices. Yeah. You alone. And I know this sounds tough because this is one of the biggest life lessons I'm learning. I think it's what I'm here for, and I know it's what I'm here for. You have to realize you are the only one. You are a fractal of divine intelligence. You came in as that, you will go out as that. You're not going to be a fractal with a party of people going in and out. That's not how you came in. I know, but we're not taught that. And the horrible thing is, we're not even taught to do this, to be independent. And I'm not saying be independent to shun everybody else. No, because when you start vibrating and knowing yourself and really being who you really are, you're just going to attract more people into your life. You're going to set more people on fire with your light. And you're going to build this beautiful community of people, of like-minded people that want to elevate and co-create a new earth and not have it where it is, where we're destroying everything, where we're not living with Mother Nature. We're fighting against her. That's not the way to live, you know? It's not the way to live. We have been so manipulated on this planet and so conditioned to believe that we need to live certain ways. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. You need to rely on the divine spark of intelligence that's within you. And when you start doing that, what happens is that divine spark puts into words, messages your soul, putting those messages forth, expressing into your soul, and then your soul puts them into words based on you, based on your personality. And so what happens is you have inspired action moving through your personality into your personal reality. So it goes boop, boop, boop. And see how it's going down because we're on Earth. It's kind of funny, yeah. So in order for you to elevate, you need to go back up. You need to go back into your soul. Ask the question. Your soul goes, ask divine intelligence. And it's just this beautiful relationship. Your personality type is sacred. Your soul is cosmic. It's eternal. It's probably done all the stuff that it's going to go through right now. But this is the caveat here, is that choices right now are so freaking important. You know, are you going to make the choice to stay in the chaos, in the fear, do what everyone else is doing? Doesn't matter, because you're on a soul path. I can't tell you what to do, and don't listen to and if you're listening to somebody else telling you what to do, you should keep on walking. Because they can't tell you what to do. Only you can tell yourself what to do. And that's the big lesson. That's what we're all here to learn. We're all here to learn that. And it's a big lesson. Believe me, I've struggled with it a lot in my life. I'm like, no, they know. It's cool. I'm just going to do that. Yeah. Well, yeah. It got me into a 7-year life tsunami. So it didn't work for me. And it doesn't work for a lot of people. What do you think the Great Resignation's about? What do you think there's all this unhappiness about? The depression, mental health issues, the unrest, the anxiety, the overwhelm, let's name it. I don't want to go there. Let's take you to an expansive place. Get in to start knowing your personality type. Do you even know your personality type? That's your first step. Write that down. You're journaling, right? You know, every time I do this, you should be journaling. Just what the questions I'm asking. So if you want to have extraordinary experiences, you have to rely on knowing how to make those choices for your personality type, guided by divine intelligence, your soul self, the metaphysical aspects. No, didn't do a blog this week because I was traveling, but I will put a link. I think I did another blog on choices or thinking and feeling traits. I'll list some stuff in the notes. But I sure hope you like this. I know I always want you to be thinking, to be pausing in life, to take some stillness time, to start questioning things. You need to question everything, and I want you to start doing that. Because if you don't start questioning and you don't start making choices based on you and what's best for you, guess what? You're going to just be swept away in the chaos. And if that's what you want, that's cool too. Maybe you're into that. It doesn't matter. What I say doesn't matter in that regard, because that's something you have to figure out. All I can do is give you the tools to become your own map maker. And I love that phrase. I give you the tools so you can become your own map maker. Create your own life map. Become a map maker. Map maker. Easy for me to say. That's the key. And however you want to devise that choice is yours. The choice is always yours. Always. It is no one else's. I don't care what anybody says. I do not care what anybody says. Choice is always yours. Well, I hope you enjoy this. I love doing these. I can't wait to start doing some teaching. I can't wait till my book starts coming out. I think it's so important. And this isn't like real ethereal. This is very practical stuff that I'm teaching you. It's very practical. You know, if you can know your personality type and you can sit still long enough to sit in a chair and start asking questions, you know, then letting those answers come to you, and you'll know when the answers are correct because they flow into you. They don't feel forced, or they don't feel like, well, you should do this. And like, they're not, the energy is not negative. You know, well, we should do this because you haven't, or, you know, that's your ego. That's that negative ego talking. And you do have a healthy ego. Again, divine intelligence isn't random. We need egos to be here, but we need light-filled egos. Not greedy, dark-filled, negative, shadow egos. We don't need that. That's what we've been programmed to think we need. We don't need that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I'll do a couple links to some other blogs in the notes section. And please share this, like, subscribe, you know, the YouTube fun stuff. But I think if you're going through anything and you're ready to make a life choice, I hope this video is going to be very, very important for you. And I hope you glean, I hope it benefits you in a big way. Okay? So if you are going through that life choices about something big in your life, new career, new places to move, new relationships, I mean, just framing your life, you know? I was sitting down talking to a bunch of people this weekend, and the conversation, I was like, God, I don't want this job. I want to do this, this, this. And it was funny. The gentleman that was sitting there, one of my best friend's husband, he said, don't think about what you want to do. Think about, choose how you want your life to be. Choose how you want so if you're in that area of your life, again, I thought, like, yes, that's so brilliant. I love that. Choose how you want your life to be. You can't choose if you don't know yourself. You have to know yourself through your personality, and then it's your soul self, which is always led by divine intelligence. Those two things work together. You're not one or another. You're both. You're the physical and non-physical, physical and metaphysical, however you want to say it. The spiritual and physical. Enjoy this. Share it, like, subscribe, do all those fun things. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.